Surely there must be something you can do.
I'm doing everything I can. And stop calling me Shirley.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if this is your first time. This is a video that is kind of a response to some of the things I've noticed in some Q&A situations with some booktubers where people have just started a channel and they are interested in how to make it grow, or there's been someone who's been on for a while and it's not really getting anywhere and they're a bit frustrated. So I thought I'd do a video about how I think channels grow, or at least some advice I'd give to someone just to kind of encourage them to keep going. Because I think if a channel stays with low subscribers and low view counts, like really low, then it is demoralizing, and I think people give up. And you know, you can kind of understand why that might happen. And my channel is not huge at all. It's not, you know, it's not a big channel, but I have had some success, and I do feel like I have some relevance in the sense of some of the things I think do work. But actually, my last point just covers anyone regardless of the size of their channel anyway. So I've got 6 points I want to make, and as I said, I'm not proclaiming to be an expert or someone whose channel has become like massive, because it really hasn't, and some of my view counts are really small. So it's not about that. In a sense, it could be even more relevant because I keep going, even though I am frustrated sometimes that I might spend hours on a video and be really proud of it and stick it up there and nobody sees it. Whereas, you know, there are examples where I have been really impressed with the performance of a video. So it's, you know, it comes and goes, and it's something that is a little bit random in some ways. And, you know, I do think it's good to try not to be demoralized by all of that sort of thing. So my 6 points hopefully might help someone to be encouraged to keep going if they are having a little bit of a wobble. So that's a little bit of a callback to a conversation between 2 or 3 booktubers recently, when a good friend of mine had a bit of a wobble. And it's natural. It's going to happen. And I have it sometimes. And I think, why am I doing this? But then I've scheduled up so many videos that I think if I did have a proper wobble and I stopped for a while, I don't think you'd even notice, because I've got so many scheduled up. But I'll tell you what, though, one of the reasons why I am pleased that I batch film a lot is actually if it's a batch filming situation because I've got a thematic thing going on. So there's like a run of videos looking at something, or like the 100 album challenge and things like that. Because some of those have really low view counts, I probably would have given up on those challenges, and they would have stopped. I would have either deleted the ones that had already been on there, and I'd be like constantly messing around with whether or not something was on or not, and like, oh, I'll take it off, you know. It's not really done very well. Nobody cares. I'll take it off, and it'll just be a mess. So I think it's quite good that I'm not going through that doubt and taking videos off or stopping a challenge halfway through. And that's because of the batch filming thing. Because, you know, I've filmed them well in advance, so I don't know how well they're going to perform. You know, the 100 album challenge, the views are all over the place. Some of them are like do really well and loads of people watch them, and some of them have got like 20 views. Or less, actually. I think there might be 1 or 2 videos that you've got less than 20 views. So, you know, I could look at those and then go, oh, I'm not really doing anything interesting. Why am I doing this? Nobody cares. Take them off. Take my channel off. Blah, blah, blah. So, you know, the batch filming I do, when I do kind of attack something and do something obsessively for a while and get loads done quickly, it's actually probably a good thing for me, because it means I'm not like overanalyzing it, and it's done, it's up there, so I'll just leave it, you know. I've been doing my Twilight Zone project, and I'm watching the episodes to death at the moment, and I'm absolutely loving it, really enjoying putting up the videos. And I'm glad that I can put up the videos without the extra stress of whether or not people are watching them. You know, when they go up, we'll see if they get watched, and if not, then they're up now, and I've done them. So I'm not going to take them off. Don't think I'll take them off now that I've done them. But I do think that if I'd have just left them as they were going along and I could put them up, I recorded them as I was putting them up, then I might have got a bit demoralised. So that's just a random thing about batch film. I don't expect anybody to batch film as much as I do, because I think it seems to be quite unusual. People might do the following week or the following couple of weeks, but I try and film months in advance. And if I've got time to do another video and I'm able to do it, as in I've got the knowledge to be able to do it, I can actually do it effectively, then I might do it, even if I don't expect to put it up for a couple of months after that, So that's just something I do. But anyway, 6 points that I think hopefully will make somebody feel very positive about their new channel, or about their channel that isn't necessarily climbing particularly high on the BookTube stakes. So my first point is let it happen. Just let it happen. Don't look at the analytics stuff until you've got some traction and you've got something to feel good about. And you can look at the analytics, then analyze, well, what has done well, what hasn't done well. You can look at that stuff is very useful, but I don't think it's useful to look at that stuff while you're getting some kind of momentum, because I think it'll end up, you might end up being obsessed by it and constantly looking at it. Or even if you're not doing that, I don't think it's going to give you massive information until you've got lots of subscribers and lots of activity on your channel. So don't look at that. Don't worry too much about your numbers. Just do it. Just let it happen. I do think that's a really important point, because some people might overanalyze their situation and they'll end up getting bogged down by worries and stress about that. And actually that might turn into content as well, because I've seen some people literally say on their videos, oh, I'm not doing very well. I hope you see this. You probably won't see this. That kind of thing. And that's not really necessarily great communication between the content creator and the people watching it. They don't necessarily want to hear you say nobody sees this, which is probably why I shouldn't have said that other thing about the other videos. But anyway, yeah, just let it happen. That's my first point. Let it happen. The second point is a bit more active, a bit more proactive, and that is comment on other people's videos. You were probably motivated to make your own channel because you were watching other channels. So try not to be a lurker, someone who watches videos but doesn't say anything. It's very easy to do that. It depends on how you're looking at it as well. If you're looking at YouTube on TV, like I watch most of my YouTube on TV, it's very easy to just watch it. But what I do quite deliberately is I watch it on YouTube, but I'll have my iPad in front of me to make comments on the video I'm watching. So it allows me to watch it on the big screen, like I like watching it on the big screen, but it doesn't mean I'm just watching it, and I can say something on there which I think most content creators will be pleased about. They like to get comments, but also it's that interaction, and you could end up being friends with that person if it keeps going, and there's a nice kind of dialogue going between you. So I think making comments is really, really important for getting those relationships going. Number 3 is book events. Book events. There's loads of book events all the time, and do them. There's so many that there's probably something for you. And if there's something that's a little bit out of your comfort zone, but you're kind of tempted, yeah, give it a go and do it in a light way. So don't go mad, and maybe do a bit of your reading into that event. And if it's something that you really do relate to, then go for it. Make an announcement on your channel. You're going to do it. And, I had a situation recently where I championed someone else's event, and they were really pleased, and I don't think they knew my channel, and their channel was quite new to me as well, but I thought it was a really good event, so I talked about it and I did the event. It's been a good experience, and I think that can be replicated like mad, so I think it's a good idea to do book events, and I will give you a cautionary additional point there, that you need to also temper that a little bit and not do tons of book events, so you're not actually ever reading what you want to read and just reading stuff that's based on prompts. I think that's an important thing, because that's easily done. But get involved in a book event, so one event a month or something, or one every few months. Join in with something and you'll make new friends. I think that's a really good idea. The fourth point, tags. Tags are a fantastic way of all sorts of things, actually. It's a fantastic way of putting on good content because tags are really fun. So the actual tags themselves are really cool. They're also a good way of networking because you're doing something that you're bouncing off what somebody else has done, and you're referencing their channel, and you're talking about their channel, and you're also being completely influenced by their ideas, and they're like that, and you're also tagging other people, so that's another element to the networking thing. And the third thing that's really good about tags is that you learn a lot about the people that are doing the tags, whatever it is. If it's a personal tag, like stuff about their likes and dislikes and their hobbies and stuff, or if it's a tag about their reading, you learn all sorts of things about people with tags. So they're a really good idea to do them. So I would definitely recommend tags for especially people that are still trying to build those relationships and get that networking thing going on. Okay. Number 5, this isn't necessarily something you should do very often. And it's not necessarily something that people do very often in general, actually. They don't come up that often. But I do think they're quite good, and you might be tempted to do them sometimes. And I would say, if you're tempted, go for it. Response videos. My personal take on response videos is that I don't think it's a great idea. It's just not good form, I think, to do a response video where you just rip apart the previous video. But I think they're a great way of saying, oh, I watched this really cool video, and this is what I think about what they said. This is my idea of, not necessarily this is my criticism of what they've said. I'm not suggesting that. This is my extra points that haven't been made, or this is my take on it. Not necessarily referencing their point specifically, but just saying about what your ideas are on that point, but referencing what they said, as in, this inspired me to do this video. Go watch their video. It's great, blah, blah, blah. I think it's a very good, positive way of doing it. And I think response videos are quite natural, and I think they're inevitable in a lot of ways. If you want to run with the idea you've got, you'll be watching a video and you'll think, oh, that's a cool thing. Or, you'll have your own ideas about what someone said. So I think that it's kind of surprising in some ways that there's not more response videos around. So I think it's just a nice way to reference someone directly. So it's similar to a tag in that sense. And you can easily say as well at the end of your response video, I'd love to know what your ideas are to the people watching. And then you're also, like you do with a tag, inviting other people to network with you about their ideas about whatever it is you've said in this response video. So I think response videos are really good for that perspective. And I have done a number of them, and it's usually because I really did like what was said in the original video, but I had a couple of extra points I wanted to add, that sort of thing. Or I have done one before where I thought the original video was brilliant, but I just had a different opinion, and I just said, well, that was awesome, go watch that. But for me personally, this is my take on it, So the last comment, the sixth idea I've got, the sixth thing I'm putting across here is probably the most important one, and probably the most significant way of continuing if you are getting a bit of a wobble, and that is enjoy it. Enjoy it. If you're not enjoying it, you shouldn't be doing it. And there's various ways you could enjoy it. So, for example, like increase your enjoyment. For example, making sure that you're being as natural and truthful and as personal and subjective as you can. I think that makes you enjoy it more because you're not constantly second guessing what you should be saying, and you're not over worried about whether or not what you're saying is correct or not. Just do what you think fits you and your personality and your ideas and your beliefs and your opinions. Do that. So I do think that's one way that you would enjoy it more because you're not constantly worried about that. Also, another way of enjoying it more is to maybe be aware of whether or not you like editing much or whether you don't like editing much, and respond to that. So if you love editing, then go mad on the editing, put loads of tricks and awesome visuals and crazy stuff on your video. But if you're not into editing much, then you don't have to put all that stuff on it, and just be entertaining as a speaker. And I'm sure you'll find your audience So that's another way to enjoy it. And 3, just keep reminding yourself that that's why you're doing it. You're doing it because you enjoy it. And if you feel stress of trying to put loads of videos out, remember, you don't have to put out a certain amount of videos. There's no rules on this thing. They don't have to be a certain length. So if you've decided to do 1-minute book reviews and that's your thing, keep doing that. If you feel like, because some people might feel pressure to do long ones. If you want to do long ones and you want to do more in-depth reviews that are like 20 minutes or half an hour long, do that. Do your own version of what you like to watch, or what you want to do, or what you feel happy and comfortable doing. That's the be-all and end-all of enjoying it, I think. So there we are. 6 points that may help somebody. It may be that I'm stating the obvious, so if that's the case, I do apologise. But I think this is a lovely platform for sharing thoughts and ideas and opinions and making friends and networking in a lovely, friendly forum where we can talk about stuff we like. So it should be a positive thing. And, last couple of years, I've been doing this actively for 3 years now. So this channel has existed for longer, but for the first few years it existed, nothing was happening on it. And I've been actively doing this for 3 years. So I've noticed that it really does matter what you do on here. It's made a big difference to my life. I've made some really good friends. And, it's definitely worth sticking it out if you want to. If you are enjoying it, then I hope these things will help you carry on enjoying it. Thank you. See you later. Stay curious, everybody.
Paint me a picture of what it's like to be